There's a running joke on my channel that I don't like Riot Games, but my real stance is that Riot is a good company. The higher-ups are just absolutely horrible.
Ain't funny. That's not true.
Why the fuck do I do this?
And lame as hell.
Should be running unnecessary. Explain the shit!
Mom, nobody calls you for Obamacare. That's not even how it works. You have TRICARE. You have military health insurance.
Let's talk about their games. I'll start off with League and Valorant specifically because I've played them the most and both are Riot's biggest games. In my opinion, both are good from a base standpoint. I think the core of each is really well made. They're both fun 5v5 team-based games, with League being a MOBA and Val being a tac shooter. The core elements are there. It feels satisfying to get a kill in Valorant. It's fun to kill an enemy laner in League. At both of their highest points, League and Val are really fun games, and I enjoy them a lot. But it's the lowest of the fucking low that pains me. Consistency, control, balance. For some fucking reason, Riot just cannot manage these problems for the life of them. For Riot, it's easier to discriminate against women than to change a number to nerf Vayne. If you play top lane, have a fun time trying to win. If you don't play duelist, have fun getting kills. You can have great characters like Warwick, Alistar, and Lux that are fun and teach you the fundamentals of how to play as a jungler, support, or mid. But you can also have champions that are either blatantly overpowered as fuck,
the turret. Oh, the one shot!
Or so useless, you might as well be playing a 4v5 game. You might as well be a 13-year-old running away from EDP, Zoe, Aphelios, Yumi, Akali. I'm not gonna go too much into the game mechanics, as it's not a League of Legends oriented video. But to put it simply, these characters have insane kits and abilities, meaning they're either insanely overpowered because they have so many options and tools, or they're Makoto Nijima from Persona 5, because they've been nerfed 10 billion times into the fucking sun.
Look at the tongue! Oh my god! Look at the tongue! Oh.
Despite creating them, Riot has no idea what the fuck to do with them. Valorant had an inconsistency issue as well. Remember when Reyna had 4 fucking heals and dismisses, which made her one of the most broken characters at launch? Remember when Breach had 3 fucking flashes in his kit? Remember when Skye had 3 flashes in her kit? Remember how useless Yoru was as an agent? Yeah? He's still fucking bad. It's like Nikocado Avocado. Remember when he was doing a mukbang every single day? Well, he's still obese. Why is it, in a tactical shooter, fuck it, any shooter for that matter, is there an element of chance in gunplay? I don't like it much in Fortnite, and I definitely don't like it in Valorant. Why do you have random spray patterns in guns? It makes it so that the game is less skill-based and more so luck-oriented. It's not a random chance like Dragon in League of Legends, where it makes the game more interesting, or Faust's quarter circle forward punch, which is not too significant. Sprite control is an important part of Valorant, and any shooter for that matter. The kind of randomness I like is when I see Yakkocmn7 on my Instagram feed, or when Salt Queen is streaming. Not having a different sprite every time I hold left click. As much as randomness can be a fun aspect of a game, in a competitive shooter with training modes, practice areas, and a game being advertised as having precise gunplay, it just disappoints me that such a vital part of winning in a competitive game is partially hindered due to chance, without the mechanic being interesting to the game. But you know what? I think both games are still fun. I had a lot of fun fucking around in League and Val when I'm not taking the games too seriously. Although the spray control is somewhat annoying, I can live with it, and I've practiced enough to where I think my aim is still decent regardless. It's not as bad as Fortnite, and you can kind of tell where your bullets are gonna go due to the sway of the gun. Although many characters maybe have crazy kits, many are fun to a certain extent, like Silas and Viego. I can live with ADCs having 1 million dashes. I can live with Darkseal and Medjay's existing in the game. I can live with Stopwatch being an item. Even though the balancing in both games may be off, there are still tons of great things I like about both games. I'm torn on my opinion. Both games can be competitive and casual, which is why although I don't love these games, I like them a lot, which is why I've spent hundreds of hours on each. TFT is pretty fun and addictive, Legends of Runeterra is a pretty fun card game, Project L, although it's tag-based, seems to be an exciting free-to-play fighting game, especially with the Cannon Brothers at the helm. They're making an MMO, and they've allowed indie devs to use their IPs. Maybe I just don't like team-based games as much as 1v1 or free-for-all. But yeah, Riot has made, and is hopefully, making really good games. I'd rather play any Riot video game than interact with any brain-dead Nintendo fan online. Despite my Valorant video, I think Riot is pretty good in terms of monetization for the most part. I think many of the skins are pretty good, and the art department for all of their games is great. It really does seem like, for the most part, Riot does a nice job with the quality of their skins. Celestial Zin, Project Warwick, Odyssey Kane, the KDA skin line, the Reaver skin line, Prime, Glitch Pop. These skins are really good, and whenever their feedback is relatively negative, many times they've acknowledged it and done better, like with the SKT skins and Gun Goddess Misfortune. Riot and good skins are like Night Blue 3 and dog shit content. Although I don't like loot boxes in general, I think free loot boxes are fine. In Legends of Runeterra, you get cards to build your deck, and in League, you get free champ shards, skin shards, and little legends. My problem with loot boxes starts with monetizing that shit, because that's when it becomes gambling. If you get stuff for free, I don't give a fuck. You're not losing anything, and if the game is rated at least T for teen for simulated gambling, I'm cool with it. It's just the predatory, actual gambling with the paid loot boxes I have a problem with. Loot boxes suck dick. They suck harder than Captain Zack sucking Nairo's dick. Even if the rewards you get are purely cosmetic, it's still exploitative. It's more predatory than a Genshin Impact fan interacting with a minor. You're paying for a chance to get a rare item that's not guaranteed. I think most of you guys can agree with me, unless you're a Genshin Impact pedophile, that loot boxes are gambling. However, again, it's only in League and it's purely cosmetic, so take it as you will. I also made a Valorant video on the overpriced skins in Valorant, and they're still overpriced. Compare Val skins to the ones found in Fortnite, Apex, and fuck it, League. It's really fucking high. Assuming for all games that you have 0 premium currency to start, you can get a Chun Li skin with 2 different variants and a Let's Go Justin emote for 22 Canadian dollars. For 28, you can get this Ion Phantom, a good skin with a few VFX changes and sound effects, but not really getting that much. And we're not even talking about the knives. This Lux knife is $28, and the Prism knife, where they just spray painted blue on the default skin, is $40. And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck?
What the fuck did they do? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of fucking Latvia. You drafted this fucking kid!
In League for $41, you can get both an epic skin with a lot of VFX and a new back animation, plus an additional ultimate skin with new voice lines, VFX, and new animations all around. Both the knife skins before have the same animation as the default knife skin and 0 added VFX. I know Apex has its own problems for monetization, but its skin bundles are alright. First, just like Fortnite and unlike League and Val, the Battle Pass gives you back all your premium currency if you complete it, and their skin bundles are alright. The Centurion bundle for Bloodhound and the G7 is $25, both of which are legendary skins. Although there's no new animations, they definitely seem like the Apex team put in a lot of work into these skins. And although I don't think that they're amazing, they're not as egregious as Val knife skins. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about these Valorant skins. I think they look great, and I think the art team at Riot doesn't get enough praise. It's just the dumb higher-ups who price these skins for so much. Not to mention, these 3 games allow you to get premium currency and skins for free just by playing. Valorant only gives you skins for secondaries, and 0 premium currency outside of Radiant Knights. Again, this is why I think Riot is a good company run by bad people. You have absolutely amazing talent deep in the dev teams, but you also have fucking horrid higher-ups who make very questionable decisions. The only reason why I got both the Reaver Phantom and the Neptune Vandal were because they were in the black market, an event that happens every few months where Riot randomly gives you skins at a discounted price. I like the idea and concept, but I was insanely lucky. Unlike League, where you get skins based on what champions you play, Valorant makes the skins you get completely random, regardless if you prefer one gun over the other. But Valorant is an outlier because I do think League, Legends of Runeterra, and other games have fairly priced skins. I don't want to get too much into this because I don't like talking about social issues, especially on this fucking channel, but I think it would be intellectually dishonest if I didn't at least touch on this. Riot. What the fuck is this shit? Riot discriminated against a fuck ton of their female employees, which led to an insane lawsuit worth tens of millions of dollars. And despite having many LGBTQ+ people in the LEC cast, and the company themselves claiming to be this inclusive organization, although they have since cancelled the sponsorship, wanted to partner with Neom, a company located in Saudi Arabia and backed by Mohammed bin Salman. Nice one, Riot. Again, I don't want to address this too much. You come to my fucking channel to shit on Nintendo dumbfucks and trash on gaming commentary YouTubers, not to be lectured on how to treat women. But fuck, man, like what are you doing, Riot? In terms of esports, I think Riot has done a really good job, especially with the amount of money they've put into supporting it. They're one of the few companies in NA where they've actually tried to support their own games with the LCS, multiple Worlds events, and MSIs, with huge prize pools. Compared to other companies like Nintendo or any other company in the FGC, they're giving a lot of money out to teams and orgs for winning. And I'm really happy that Riot is supporting so many events and tournaments. But yeah, that's basically it for my opinion on Riot Games. The higher-ups make poorer and poorer decisions, while the talented and hardworking devs and artists are the ones to suffer. But you know what? If it was just these 4 things, I would have not have made this video. If this video was just about their games, their monetization systems, their treatment of women, and their response to esports, then I wouldn't have made this video. Because my biggest distaste with Riot actually doesn't have that much to do with Riot themselves. It has to do with the community.
Fucking kill yourself, Riot.
I'm gonna still provide the best content I can.
Is a bitch talking to me? Is a female talking to me? Like, do you have AIDS? Do you have AIDS? Osama bin Laden? Huh? Do you have AIDS?
I don't have to explain to you how toxic the League and Val communities are. I'm sure you've been around the internet long enough to know that these games, and many team-based competitive games in general, that there's a lot of toxicity and shit-talking, whether it's warranted or unwarranted.
So when you're playing an NA server, you see a lot of passive aggressiveness. The jungler is ganking top lane again. What's my jungler doing, right? Stuff like that. When you're in EU West, you see a whole lot of flaming and bad things about your mother and all that other great stuff, right?
Why are you watching this part of the video? You already know how god-awful of a fan base this game has. Doesn't matter if you've played the game or not. You know, as long as you haven't been living under a rock, you know how toxic the community is. Some of the stuff they say, it's so obvious, they just reek of insecurity. They reek of virginity.
As a joke, I decided to play a few ranked games to see if I could get a clip of someone being a shitter, and every single match consisted of me silently eating popcorn while 4 feral rats presented court cases on why the members of my team deserved the death penalty.
I even see this shit in my normal games, where the games don't fucking matter. Don't get me wrong, I might talk shit in games too, but I only do it in ranked games, and only when I'm provoked. Like if a guy on my team is trolling or trash talking me. Like really? You're gonna trash talk me in a non-competitive game mode that doesn't matter? At least if it was ranked I would kinda understand, but holy shit. I think you can agree with me that shit talking your teammate in the middle of a match doesn't help their performance, and you shouldn't take the game that fucking seriously since you're not losing any dumbass elo. The game doesn't matter. When I play a video game, I want to play a video game. I don't want to be pestered into fucking oblivion and blamed for losing a game for not ganking someone's lane even though they lost 1v1 2 minutes in. Muting your team isn't the best option either, because you could lose possible information they might give you, like pings and specific instructions. Not to mention, you don't know who's gonna talk shit before you mute. I don't give a fuck if a lot of games have this problem as well. It's still a problem. Just because a lot of content creators take a certain sponsorship doesn't make that sponsorship good. Just because a lot of people buy NFTs, it doesn't mean NFTs based on the Ethereum blockchain is good. And just because a lot of games collectively have a similar problem doesn't mean that that problem can be neglected. But you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck their games, fuck their employees, and fuck their monetization schemes. The content creators are fucking horrible.
That's sort of the dumb dick shit. extra dick on the side for your boyfriend, Carlos.
You know, of course you're gonna have some bad moments, but you know what? It doesn't even really matter. You know why? Because Corky got into Harvard and Yale.
All right, guys, I'll when the dragon dies, we all ult them at the same time. Go! I don't have it.
After Video Game Donkey quit League, the amount of actual creative and original League of Legends content absolutely plummeted. We shit on DongHuap for making a lackluster video once in a while, which is fine, I'm okay with that. But I don't see anyone fucking talking about Professor Akali or Red Mercy to the same extent for making their uninspired dog shit that takes 2 seconds to make. Be consistent. If we actually want League and Riot content to thrive and get better, we should demand more from the bottom-feeding, low-effort content creators rather than solely shitting on creators who make a subpar video once every while. Why does every single piece of content have to devolve into a Twitch clip or compilation? I get the need for highlights, but too much of one thing is not good. If everyone is doing the same thing with very little innovation, then what's creative about it? Donkey quit League, Uber Danger quit League, Yakko quit League, Magikarp used Fly quit League, DongHuap posts a League vid every 3 months. Dumbs, he posts like once a year. Pianta posts frequently, but for every Pianta video, there's 100 I Will Dominate streams, double lift reaction videos, and unoriginal Hashinshin highlights to fill the void. For every amazing GBA 99 documentary, there's always going to be a billion Twitch highlight compilation videos, and again, for sure, we need that, but we also need more creators who are willing to make analysis videos like for Caillou, dumb funny videos like DongHuap, and fuck it, anything other than this easy, copy-paste, quantity over quality, formulaic, unoriginal, uninformative, advertiser dick-sucking stream and get your editors to make your videos palatable, clickbaity, dog shit videos. Riot is a 5 out of 10 company, and its community can go fuck itself.